Back, everyone. Again, we've got some newbies in here today, and I love that we do. We're still live on Facebook, so hello to everybody out there. Remember to like us and follow us, and we'll share the show later on. My next guests I have with me, Dr. Tara Sullivan and also Dr. Kylee Austin, and they're owners of Mind to Body Healing. Welcome to the show. I'm so glad you're here, and I want you to tell everybody, we're going to start simple. I'm going to go use your little thing here. I love it. So tell us a little bit about what you do.
Yeah, so I'm Dr. Tara, and what we do is we specialize in pelvic floor physical therapy. And so we're focusing on bowel, bladder, and sexual dysfunctions and pelvic pain.
Exactly. And I'm Dr. Kylee, and I'm also a pelvic floor physical therapist. We're both doctors of physical therapy.
Well, we talk about pelvic floor therapy, okay? Just give an example of what that looks like, because folks, this is things you got to do to help you not go pee-pee, right? Okay, go ahead.
Right into it. Let's
Exactly.
go.
I do it right away.
I love it.
Yeah, so one of the main things that we definitely treat is what we call incontinence, which is when urine comes out and you didn't want it to.
Yeah.
But there's so much more than just
yes.
incontinence. We treat urge, frequency, pelvic pain, sexual dysfunction.
Yeah, and everyone has a pelvis. So we treat males, females, and people of all ages.
Okay, and then where you're located in both Arcadia and Mesa.
Yes.
And you do what you call a free 15-minute phone consultation. And you have to do that because we have to find out what's going on with everybody. And then what does it look like when they come into the office for something like that?
Absolutely. And part of that is I feel like everyone needs pelvic floor therapy and just to have a basic assessment of what's going on, right? So we definitely do that free 15-minute consult, but we get you in, and there's so many people who have been gaslit forever and not heard by medical providers, and we give those people the opportunity to really tell their story and be heard about any of those conditions that we just mentioned.
Yeah, so we'll spend a full hour with them. We'll screen, most important is what she says is we take the time to actually listen to their story. Why are they leaking? Why do they have that urgency? Or, how is it affecting their day-to-day life? And then we spend a whole hour one-on-one, and we go through an examination of the pelvic floor muscles as well as screening of the other systems.
Yeah.
Okay, so I like this one. So what are some common issues people experience, especially as we get older? And there's a lot we have a lot of seniors that listen, a lot of baby boomers and things like that. But honestly, even, I'm going to say this, that with pelvic floor issues, that could start early,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So anyway, but let's talk about the older folks and some of the issues that you also see with them.
Yeah, so the biggest misconception is that it's normal to experience urgency, frequency, leaking, all the things that we treat just because we're aging. Just because I'm older now, or just because I had a baby, I'm gonna now pee my pants. And that's just absolutely not true. It is common, 100% common. But if we say it's normal, that means you have to live with it, and you don't have to.
You don't have to, but you have to find out the information. And that's what I love about the show the most, is that it is information, and you can go up onto their website and check them out. It is the number 2, the letter B, healing.com. The number to call is 480-269-7953. They do 15-minute phone consultations that are free, and they're located in Arcadia and Mesa. So a lot of people think that these issues are common and normal, like you said, but they don't have to be. They do not have to suffer, and you have to find out the information. How can you be helped? That's the first thing. Because why should anyone be, dealing with that when you don't have to?
Yeah,
exactly.
And there's so many things that we can do. Like she said, during that initial evaluation, we're really looking at your muscle quality, because there is that bowl of pelvic floor muscles for everyone, right? And they have so many different functions. Like we said, sexual function, bowel and bladder function, and just stabilizing our pelvis as we move and being able to live without back pain, hip pain, things like that.
So that pelvic muscle really is in charge of helping a lot of different areas within the body. So doing this, you could really, fix other areas of things that you might have concerns with as well. Is that correct?
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah. A lot of times people can have back pain or hip pain or any type of pelvic pain, and it could really be coming from those internal pelvic floor muscles.
So when do you think that somebody should be seeking help with you?
Yeah, as soon as that first symptom comes on. Don't wait, don't think it's gonna get better on its own, especially if it's coming and going, eventually it's probably gonna stay. So the first time you accidentally don't make it to the toilet in time, or the first time
You
that...
pee in your pants when you
Yeah,
sneeze.
exactly.
I want us to say this, though, you have to tell everyone, because a lot of men think that it's just a woman's problem. Forget it. That is not the case, because it really is men and women too, correct?
Absolutely, yeah. The biggest, actually, we kind of joke around and say the men pay the bills at our clinic, because we do have about 60% males and 40% females, and we specialize in post-prostatectomy treatment. And they certainly have bladder issues, sexual issues, so men and women both have pelvic floors.
Yep, and we talk about all those taboo things, right? Because even men suffer in silence, and women suffer in silence as well with these issues. As far as you're, waking up in the middle of the night, all throughout the night, having to go, having more urgency and frequency, not being able to play with your grandkids without leaking, or just going to the grocery store in fear of that leaking, or just having to wear pads or anything like that. That's just it's fixable. So we want to be able to help.
And pain with intimacy really affects
absolutely.
the relationship too.
Absolutely. I didn't know that you can work on the pelvic floor and intimacy issues. So, and that's nice, because let's say this, you're not doing any drugs with that. So
Right,
let's talk
exactly.
about that. Let's get up on that mic and tell them.
It's completely holistic, yeah. What we do is we do a series of treatments that actually retrain your nervous system, your bowel, your bladder, and your sexual system to do what it's designed to do.
Yeah, and so many of us go through hormonal changes throughout our life, and so we really want to address menopause, perimenopause, things like that, and so that doesn't come with uncomfortable symptoms for those individuals.
And it's also invasive.
No, we're not invasive. It's not invasive.
It's invasive. So I thought it was
invasive. Yeah, so we
I
actually
asked you the question right. Let
Yeah,
me
no
ask you
worries.
too. Is it invasive?
There we go. It's not actually.
There we go. So it's not invasive.
No,
But that's big.
Yeah,
Because a lot of
we create a very safe, secure environment where they feel very comfortable with us before we even put our hands on them or do any type of internal exam.
So go ahead.
A huge part of what we do is just patient education. A lot of individuals have never heard of their pelvic floor muscles before, and so we really do a thorough job of making sure that people are understanding what this exam looks like, and it's all with consent.
And the purpose of it.
I have a good one. Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
What's the difference between what you do and a lot of people know that they've heard of the Kegel
Kegels.
exercise? I gotta ask. Go ahead.
Yeah.
See?
So Kegels are actually an exercise where you're contracting your pelvic floor muscles, which can be good, but can also be bad. And unfortunately, a lot of people think all we do is teach people how to do Kegels, but if you are doing Kegels and your muscles are not in the right condition to be doing those contractions, it can actually make your symptoms worse, and especially if you're not doing them correctly. So we actually will assess and make sure you're even a candidate to do Kegels, but what we do is so much more beyond that.
Retrain your pelvic floor is what you say.
Yeah.
And that another question here that's really good is, can people on Medicare get this kind of care?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yay,
Yes,
finally.
so we take Medicare traditional, and we are able to see you with the highest quality care.
That's awesome. They have 2 locations to serve you, Arcadia and Mesa. They do free 15-minute phone consultations. You can check them out on their website. It's the letter M, the number 2, the letter B, healing.com, and the phone number is 480-269-7953. Again, we want to also say that it's for both men and women. Also, it's not just for incontinence, it's for many things as well. Sexual well, you know what I'm
Intimacy,
saying.
pain with intimacy. Yeah.
Right? And so all of that comes along with that. And you said that even in your offices, you see more men actually than women. What's your final words, ladies?
Our final words are
Healing
healing begins with hope.
Yeah.
I love that.
We love what we do, and we're able to see people finally have hope in their healing process every single day, and we're so grateful to do it.
And it's awesome. Again, they have 2 locations to serve you. One is in Arcadia, the one is in Mesa. They say that healing what is it?
Begins with hope.
I couldn't finish it. Healing begins with hope. Their number is 480-269-7953. It's M, the number 2, B, healing.com.
Thank you.